it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment. Good morning or afternoon or wherever you are. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. This is Tech for Senior Live. It is January the 19th, and I want to welcome everybody to the show. Of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for coming. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you for coming. And if you're watching this as a YouTube short, please just click the link and it'll take you right to the show. We're going to be with you for about an hour today. We're going to talk a little bit in the beginning. We of course, in our studio today, we have Bill James, and he's been talking about home automation and aging in your home on our Monday show, because we have all of us gang are from our Monday show as well, which I'll talk about in a minute. So the topic today we're going to talk about before we do the news review is aging in your home, and what changes have you made in your home, maybe to help you feel better and be able to stay in your home longer. So that's what we're going to talk about before. And then we'll move on and do the, of course, news of the week. So we have a big show for you today. Should be lots of fun. We also are from Tech for Senior, which is, of course, our Monday show, and we have a lot of fun on our Monday show. It's broadcast a little bit different. This on our Monday show, it's a Zoom meeting, and we broadcast over to YouTube. This isn't so. All of you people that are logging into our Zoom account, we're not there. We're over here on StreamYard, and we're broadcasting out to Facebook and StreamYard. So if you're trying to find us and you're wondering where the heck everybody is, if you go over to our website, which is www.techforsenior.com, we will, of course, there's a link right there, a great big button. Just click that, and it'll take you to the right area. Also, while you're on Tech for Senior, if you haven't, we do have a newsletter. The newsletter comes out twice a week, and there's some pretty darn good stuff in there. And we don't advertise in it, and we don't sell the data to everybody else. It's just us talking to everybody that's interested in listening, and there's some pretty good stuff there. So anyway, that's on our website. This show, of course, is being recorded, and we are going to podcast that out. Tomorrow it'll be going out to our podcast system. So that's who we are. Now, before I introduce everybody, what we'd like to know is who you are out there, because we have no idea who's listening. And if you're out there, you're listening. We're just talking. We've been talking for an hour before the show, but we have no idea who's out there. So if you want to maybe put your name, put your where you're from, maybe the weather, if you've made any changes in your house with technology to help you age and care in your house, maybe let us know, and then we'll talk about that a bit later. So this is sort of cool. You're probably looking at the screen, and you're looking at us, and you see four people, and you might think that we're all sitting in a studio, or we're sort of somehow connected. Well, we're all over the place. We're not even, Bob, you're not even in a country. You're out in the middle of the Pacific. I can't even say we're from different countries. What the heck you're on a ship out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, right? So it's
yes, I am.
So we're
I'm
all
bobbing
over.
and weaving. Yep.
So we're not only are we coming from different countries, different continent, different sides of the continent. We're also, some of us are on land, some of us are on sea. You would not believe what we do for our viewers to come up with unique people that we can bring into this show, right? Speaking of unique people, I'm going to introduce my first the first person today, and the co-host of our Monday show, Huey Poplik from, of course, Bradenton, Florida. How are you doing, Huey?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Glad to be here.
Are you going to brag about your great weather?
Yeah, it's in the seven. It was 72. It's going to 77 today, and tonight it's only going down to about 68. Finally, we got our weather back. We've had a couple of weeks of cold weather.
Cold weather, all right. And then, of course, I'm going to introduce our security expert, the person who's been with our show since the start. He's Mr. Bob Gustisha. He's not only does he do security, but he's a prolific producer of YouTube videos on all sorts of topics. He currently is on a ship somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, and he's broadcasting from his cabin. We have to talk quietly so we don't wake up Alice this morning. She's probably still sleeping, and
She's
and
in the shower
no, she's in the shower.
Don't move the
strict
camera around
instruction.
then.
With strict instruction. Knock on the door before you open it. Even though the camera pretty much makes sure we won't have any.
All right, no oopses then. All right.
No oopses.
Oopses. All right. And then, of course, from Oklahoma City, we have Mr. Bill James, who is here. He also is on our Monday show. He's we call him the gadget guy, which I think is an unfair representation of Bill, because he does write an article in our Tuesday newsletter on gadgets. But Bill's really a very knowledgeable fellow who does a lot of computer support and tech work. He also is a Windows expert and talks. He does Windows tips on our Monday show, and currently is doing his, I guess this will be your third segment coming up Monday on home automation and aging in your home. So I thought that would be a good topic to talk about today. Well, we've got you here. So welcome, Bill, and welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. It's we had a chilly morning this morning, so it's pretty. It's warming up, but it was 32 when I got up.
Yes.
But it's amazing. I'm thinking about what's happening here. Is that who would have thought 20 years ago that we would have four people in four different places being able to broadcast and communicate? It's just unreal.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, who would have thought? If you look at where we actually are and the fact that we're together broadcasting out to all these other people that are listening in different countries around the world, and we're all doing it with stuff we have in our house, that we don't even have a technical group behind us with all the, studios and stuff like that. We're doing this all ourselves.
Exactly.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Pretty
I
amazing.
remember when I was reading about, someday the internet, you'd be able to have pictures and audio. And I recall that very first audio, which I can't think, it was real audio or something that they had in Netscape.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite primitive at the time. And just look how far we've come and how great it is. I mean, this is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I just marvel.
It's amazing. Now, what I wanted to, before we get into talking about the topic I want to talk about, I do want to give everybody an image. You're going to have to guess what this is about, okay? And all of you viewers out there, I want you to look at this as well, and we'll talk about this before we get into the news. But I want to show you a picture, and I want you to think. Don't tell me what you think it is right now. I just want you to take a minute, and I want you to watch this image, and I want you to tell me, think about what this person is doing. All right, so just think about that for a moment. And if you're out there, if you're out there listening to us, if you could have a look at that and think about what that person actually is doing there, and then we'll talk about that after we do our little segment on home automation and aging and care. So everyone's had a good look at that? Okay, great. All right. Let's go around the table and talk maybe about our home and maybe some of, I mean, I think it's our goal. I'm sure all four of us want to stay in our home as long as we can, right? I don't think anybody's planning on moving off to a senior. So maybe we'll go around the table and you can tell me some of the things that you might have done with your home. Let's start with you, Huey. You
Ron,
actually,
before you start,
yeah,
before you start, don't you want to find out who's out there listening to us?
that's a good idea,
Anybody?
Bob. Thanks for reminding me. You should. We better do that. We better do that. Huey, do we have anybody listening? That's cool.
Yeah,
Thanks,
actually
Bob.
we do.
Okay, I'm asleep at the switch here. Bernardo DeFazio, Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan. Thank you, Bernard. Don McMahon, good morning from Northern Idaho. Welcome, Don. Jeff G, greetings from Southern California. Kathleen Steed from New York. It's 43 degrees and raining in New York City. Don McMahon, son bought me the Apple Watch for the fall detection. It works. There you go. I hope you didn't fall and hurt yourself. Ray Baxter, who's this? Who's Ray Baxter? Do we know a Ray Baxter? Ray, of course, is our music director on the Monday show. He usually is usually on here on Thursday. Bill comes on. The Bill James comes the third Thursday of the month. So Ray got the day off. 46 degrees in Pine, Arizona. Well, maybe all that snow's melting, eh? Bob Baxter, different person over in Bellevue, Washington, 39 degrees and dry but cloudy. Jeff, 41 degrees in Long Beach with rain coming this afternoon. More rain, yikes. JJ from 36 degrees and Waukegan. Is that better? Did I get it right?
Yeah,
Waukegan.
he spelled it out for you.
JJ says, Waukegan, I got it right. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for prompting me on that. Murray Strom, good morning from Victoria, BC, where it is shaping up to be a nice day. I have been having lots of fun with Chat GPT. I was finally able to log into it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. I think we've all, I know Huey's done, Bob and I have written articles with Chat GPT. Have you done as well, Bill?
I just started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Ivana Stewart, good morning from Argyle, Texas, 6 degrees and sunny and windy. Oh, okay. Ted says, Ted Wah, Oliver, is he in Oliver, BC, British Columbia? Is that, I wonder if is that where 0 degrees fog recently purchased as stool for putting shoes on keeps me upright. Okay. Mike Hungerman. Mike, of course, is our guru of gurus. He's done a lot of series on our Monday show. He lives in Florida, and he does. He's done 2 series with us. One is, of course, with the solar panels and electrifying your home. And the second one now we're doing a whole series on is EV cars. And I'm going over this afternoon to see one of my friends who just bought the new Mitsubishi SUV plug-in hybrid. So Mike, I'm gonna have some pictures for you on Monday, and I'm gonna show it on the Monday show. Is the new plug-in hybrid from Mitsubishi. Working for the last several days to update my passwords on RoboForm, my chosen password manager. Yes, well, Mike's also going to help us because the second Monday of February, our whole Monday show will be devoted to password managers and what we should do and how we should do it, or should we use them, and so on and so forth. So the whole show will be donated, will be around that, and Mike's going to help us with that. So thank you, Mike, and nice that you're listening to us. Mike's often on the show. Steve Parker, Bill, will you do you remember music from the Squeaker?
No, I don't.
The Squeaker.
Give me a squeaker.
The Squeaker.
Maybe he means the modems.
All right. Huey,
The tones. Yes. That's
you've
me.
now you've sort of already made the transition, because you've moved out of big homes into a single, easy to manage house, right? Is that
That's
you sort
correct.
of, you've already done the sort of a lot of the work, haven't you?
Yeah, the community I'm in is actually a 501c3 community.
Mhm.
It's a retirement community for one of the fraternal organizations, and excuse me, and all of the units here are either efficiencies or one bedroom, but they're individual homes or they're quad buildings where there's 4 units in a building. I'm in one of the quads, and it's a 2-bedroom. It's a living room, kitchen, and then the bedroom with a bathroom and a closet off of it. So it's a little over 500 square feet. It's perfect for me. In the quad units, we don't have to even manage the lawns. In the individual homes, they do. And all of these homes, they're not mobile or manufactured homes. They're all block buildings, and that we all have carports. And some people have added on to their lanais, or added a lanai, or added a little extra room, and I've got a shed out back, and so on. So I'm really self-contained in a very small spot. It's perfect for me. And when Robin was alive, it was perfect for the two of us. And I'm real happy here. And that's where I plan on. I'm aging in place for sure. All my neighbors are all retired. We're all former members of the same organization. They're all used to being volunteers and helping others. So we all know each other and we all help each other. And it's really a great community. But I also have done all of the Miss A, and I've got a whole bunch of the I don't know if you can see the box or not.
Smart
It's
plugs, smart plugs.
the Belkin smart plugs. I got a bunch of them all over the house, so I can turn lights on and off. I can reboot my TV. It's the plug behind my TV that you can't get to. I've got it on one of those smart things, so I can actually shut the TV down and then start it back up, like unplugging it. And so it's basically rebooting the TV. And then I've also added the Ring. I've got a Ring doorbell, and I've got a front and a back outdoor camera with a light motion sensitive at night. And so I can see what's going on outside. Somebody's at the door, I can answer it. And so I'm pretty much set up to age in place.
Sure, that sounds good. I'm going to go next, since we're going around here. I'm going to just show a few people. So that I've just decided on 3 or 4 slides to show you, because I've been working hard. We have a home, and it's a 2-level house, so we live on the upper floor. So we have the dreaded stair issue, right? And this is the stairs going downstairs. What I wanted to show you is that one of the things that we recently did, when a contractor was here, we added, if you look on the left side here, you'll see there's a banner as you go down the stairs. This was the one that was there. And I had him add another banner on the right-hand side so that you could hold that when you're going downstairs. I think my biggest worry is, of course, these are quite steep stairs, and the issue would be a fall. So we added that extra handrail, so that when you went down, particularly people like to hold with their right hand when they're going down the stairs. So you typically went down the stairs, you didn't hold on to anything because it's on the wrong side. So I'm happy with that. That's one of the things that we did. The second thing, which we've talked a lot about in the past, we've talked about robotic vacuums. I have a whole fleet of robotic vacuum. Vacuuming is something I just you know, as you get older, it's harder. You got the vacuums out; they're big, they're heavy, and this is at Costco, and I put this slide up. This was on sale. Now this is a Canadian price. This is our local Costco store, but this is the Shark robotic vacuum, and it's got the auto empty. It's got cameras, lidar, all the stuff on there, and it's all for three. That'd be probably US, probably 300 or 295 US. That's crazy cheap considering that vacuum would be $2,000 a couple of years ago. And vacuuming is something that as we age and age at home, you have to, you know, look after your house, and you can either have people come in, but this technology works really well. The other one, of course, you saw on our Monday show last week. This is the same as Huey. This is I'm watching TV at our upstairs, and you'll see up on the screen here. You'll see when the Gail rings the doorbell. Of course, the doorbell shines on the TV because I have an Amazon TV, the new Omni series, and the doorbell rings right into the TV, and I can make it big screen and talk to them and so on and so forth. So I actually don't have to go down those stairs to find to answer the door, right? And so that's sort of cool. And the last one, which I don't know if you guys have experienced with this. These are the bidet swash. This is the one again. This was at Costco. These are to help you when you're in the toilet cleaning yourself. And these actually work really well with these little devices coming up and cleaning your bottom. And I've actually experimented with a bunch of them in the house here, and they really do work very well. And that, again, helps people who are having mobility issues, who have some issues around keeping themselves clean. These are something that's really popular now, at least in our area, and I'm certainly for those as well. So those are some of the things that I've added to our home in the last year. Of course, with automation and all the gadgets that Bill keeps coming up with, I'm always putting more stuff in. I have Miss A devices in every room in the house. Bill, or sorry, let's do maybe Bob. Bob, you're in the middle of the ocean. What have you done in your house?
Cameras, smart TVs, doorbells that I can see who's coming and who's going. Also, Miss A has something that everybody, if you have a Miss A, when you leave the house, just tell it that you're leaving, and she'll start guarding your home for you, which means that if you have smart lights and stuff that work through Miss A, it automatically makes it look like you are home because it periodically turns lights on and off. It can do the same for anything else that works through Miss A. And that's a free. There are other features that are part of that protection that you have to pay for. But the light part is a free, and everybody has it. All you need is some smart lights. And most of us have some form of controlling their lights, whether through an outlet or through actual smart bulbs. I also use smart plugs, and I like to turn off my router modem combo at least once a week. But I am not getting behind all kinds of furniture to do that. I did that once with a smart plug, and now I just tell her to turn off that plug. Off goes my router. I tell it to turn it back on after a couple of seconds, and I've rebooted my router. Makes it simple. Hey, life is supposed to be simple, and boy, has it gotten simpler over time.
Bill, tell us what you're doing. You had some good ideas earlier. We were talking about this before the show started.
Yes, it is a process. It's not something you're going to do overnight, but it's something that you probably should start as soon as possible. And I always recommend, I think everyone's mentioned lights. I think that's really important because I was one to get up in the middle of the night with not trying to fumble for the lamp that's on the nightstand and try to walk towards to the bathroom or whatever. And of course, you're prone to fall. because something could be left in the middle of the room which you have forgotten that you placed there. So having lights that you can give commands to turn on is very beneficial. Or you want to walk down the hall, you don't have to fumble for any light switches. Just say turn on the lights in whatever your area you're going to, and you have a lighted path. So that's really important. Of course, I'm really an advocate of having the doorbell where you can see who's at the door. And one of the things we talked about earlier, of course, if there's you have an emergency situation and you're in your bedroom, your front door is locked,
Mm.
but you can ask your smart speaker to unlock the door and let whoever you're expecting in. And Ron also mentioned the fact that if you have caretakers that are coming, you can also give them a temporary code where they can get in without you having to go to the door. I live on a single a story house, but still, there's a distance between my bedroom and the front door. So
So that's a smart lock, and that's a good.
that's
We haven't talked about that. Yeah.
smart locks.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the other thing that you can have, of course, is and I'm going to look more into these is these medical dispensers that are automated that can remind you when you need to take your medicine, dispense the amount of pills. And I know even now when I get up in the morning, I have this row of bottles of pills that I have to take, and I have them kind of put in an order. But for some reason, sometimes I will say, "Well, did I just take that?" Or and I tend to forget between the two bottles, and I've just taken it. It's just something that's coming with age. So to have a machine that will actually measure and monitor those for you is really a good idea. And of course, the other thing that's really crucial and is to be very familiar with your mobile device, whether it be a smartphone or a tablet or whatever. Know how that operates and how to operate the apps that are going to accompany these smart devices. And we're all have some computer savvy. We belong to a computer or a technology organization, or either the one that is in our locale, or we're uh, members of Tech for Seniors, and so we're interested in technology. So don't be afraid of using your phone and learning how it performs, how to work the apps, how to install them, and do those sort of things. Because the phone is really going to rapidly replace your computer, and you'll find as you grow older, you're going to rely on it more than you will your laptop or your desktop.
Good. Thanks, Bill. Uh, Now let's come back before we get on to the news articles. Now, I want to just come back to that image of this fellow that's here, or we don't know if it's a fellow or what. So now you've had a good look at this. I'm going to go around the table. Huey, what do you think that guy's doing?
Trick or treat.
Trick
No,
or treat.
that's not what I think.
What
But
do you
I don't know. It looks like maybe a bug man. He's obviously wired with something.
Right.
So he's checking something, probably
Mhm.
looking for termites, maybe.
Okay, good thought. Bob, any comments?
Do you have any problems with bees?
No. All right. And Bill, any comments there?
I
Either
was
that or he's trying to steal packages and shoving it in his.
I was
Well,
thinking
you look at it here, and he's got something here, doesn't he? So there's something here in his suit, and then he's holding something up. So
Yep.
you're absolutely right.
I was,
Is he stealing packages? That's a good idea, but you're not right.
Yep.
You're not even close.
Blocking the
I
camera
was
and
thinking,
stealing
I
and
was
stuff.
thinking he's delivering food or something.
Delivering food. Ah, you guys, I got all of you. I got y'all. All right. So this, interestingly, so what this is let's look at this again. First of all, you can't see his face because it's all covered. So um, what this was on our news, the national news, a couple of nights ago, this image. And they what happens is that um, cars, stealing cars, and this is actually a professional car ring thief group that comes around, and they have all the latest in technology, and they're stealing, actually, I think this is an Audi that they're stealing. All right. And what this guy is doing here is, because you can see the car, and I guess you can't see what the car is, but it's sitting off to the right here. And what he's doing is, as you know, like these new cars are all wireless entry, right? They're all wireless connection, right? So and they all have proximity. So when you come up to the car, right, the car unlocks and starts, and you can get on with life, and away you go. You actually don't have to put the key in, right? So what people do is, of course, when they park their car in their front, like this guy did, is they take the key and they take whatever device they have, the wireless device, they leave it inside, and they often hang it up on a peg close to the door or something like that. What this is this is a very high tech device here. This is some sort of box with electronic gear in it. And what this fella is doing is, this is an antenna. If you look at it, it actually is a square, and he's holding it up, and he's relaying the signal from the key that's inside the house as it broadcasts out to the car. And when he holds this up, it takes the signal from inside the house and automatically starts the car. And this is like a brand new 2023 $90,000 car, and they show just how fast, with all the technology, they can actually just start it instantly, and they were gone in 5 minutes. Like, it's really crazy, and they were gone in 5 minutes. And what that is an antenna, and there's some sort of electronic, it's plugged into some sort of electronic gear, and it broadcasts out to the car, and then it starts the car, unlocks it, and starts the car, and off it goes. And they said within a day it would be on a freighter. Usually this is Toronto, Montreal. Within a day it'd be on a freighter and off to Europe for sale, right? They that's how fast they get them out of there. So this was part of a series they did on TV, and I thought, that's pretty darn cool. Bob, you didn't get that. You're a security guy.
Never heard of that.
Never
I
heard
had
of
not
it.
heard that either. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting, eh? So that is a big problem. You think you've got a 2023 $90,000 Beamer or whatever that's sitting in your, and it's got all the electronics in it that tells when bad guys are around. But all is they're doing is taking the existing signal from your proximity key and broadcasting it over to the car, so the car thinks you're the real person, and then starts up. So away you go.
Ron, I stopped working on my car when they took the motor and turned it sideways. That was the last time I worked on a car. Okay, things have gotten different from then.
All right, listen. So interesting, lots of fun. Huey, any other comments before we start on?
Well, let's see where we were. When Steve was talking, what he was talking about.
Before the PC had a sound card, AdLib was the first. We used the PC speaker to generate sounds. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, never did that.
Unless you had a VIC 20, and the Commodores all had sound chips. We didn't have squeaks. We had actual sound being generated, like music, like sound effects, all of that, because it had a sound chip.
Olive says, we enjoy Miss A, bidet, surveillance cam, smart lights, switches, weather station, and solar lights. Wow, you're all in.
Yep.
I'm curious to try connecting them to each other as communicators like Star Trek. Yeah. Indeed. Kathleen says, I am in a rental apartment. The building was built in 1871. Wow. That's crazy. It was last rewired in 1949 when I was able to climb ladders. I recall trying to replace a ceiling fixture. Oh my gosh. That's pretty amazing. the instructions said to connect the white and the with the white and black with the black. When I exposed the inside, there was a massive curled up wire, all the same color. Forget anything electric. Neil Williams, my old buddy from Silveridge, my computer guru who we used to fix computers together. Hello from Golden, Colorado, 32 degrees, and need to place keys, cards, and RFD pockets to protect your signals. Interesting, yes. Except if it's a key. If it's a key fob, that's not so easy. Yeah, I remember that too, Bob. It was called a SID chip.
Right.
There you go.
Sound
All right.
interface device. That's
Let's
a
get
sound
on.
interface device.
Sound interface device.
Mhm.
Let's see here. We are going to share my screen. We'll see if we can.
I just got to notice that Tech for Seniors is about to start.
Oh, did you?
That's because I was still in New Mexico.
Let me just see here. Let me just go to share now. Hold on here. We had some problems earlier. Share, come on. Share, there we go. All right. Let me just get this a little bit bigger.
I'm just going to go to Facebook and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm just going to let everybody know, I'm going to put that up. If you, this is the link. If you want to see the, if you want to see us on Facebook and go over the articles as we go through, we can do that. You can just go here. All right, let me come down and find who got the award today for the first article. Huey.
Yeah. Not the first article, the last article.
So why shouldn't you ever use your phone in bed?
Well, there's a whole bunch listed, and they do explain each one. But there's the blue light effect. There's stress levels, insomnia, potential cancer risk, and then productivity issues resulting from phone use in bed, like sleep deprivation and lack of focus, and an impact on mental health, lack of routine, and then relationship problems caused by phone and use in bed, the illusions of engagement, fostering disconnection, and then alternatives to using your phone in bed: read a book, listen to relaxing music, or write a journal.
You know, when I get up in the middle,
it's an interesting article.
Do you ever have the problem you get up at 2 a.m. and you can't go back to sleep, or your mind starts racing?
Oh, I do almost every night. And I actually get up and get on the computer.
Oh, I do the same thing, right? But mine races like same as you. But I do not do that. If I get up and I go on the computer, I am hooped. It's like 5 o'clock before I go back to bed. It's anyway. Yes, indeed. All right. Huey, this is the morning after Getty Images. Oh, right. Yeah. So tell us about this.
Yeah, Getty Images is a commercial. You have to pay to use their pictures, and one of the AI generators, art generators, has used pictures to develop the AI, and some of the pictures they've used apparently were some of the Getty images, and so they're suing them. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes, as opposed to how is AI working? It's going out and it's looking at what's out there and then making its own picture. But if it's using something that is copywritten, do they have the right to do that? And so it's going to be interesting how this plays out.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Huey. You see, I always thought when you said it's an AI generated image, that AI just created the image out of the scratch, right? It just somehow created, but it doesn't. It's actually taking it from an aggregate of all these images online and creating it from that, right?
Yes.
and that is
Absolutely.
different. That's interesting. That was really interesting. Yeah, so that's a problem. So what's Samsung's Galaxy Watch? What's this about?
It will soon stream live video from Nest and from the Ring cameras. So you're going to be able to watch your door on your watch.
That'll be cool, eh?
Yeah. And that should be sometime this first quarter.
That may make me, you know, I own a lot of watches, as you know, and I've made a lot of videos about watches, and it is, I guess the question is there a compelling reason to own a watch, right? Like what are the compelling reasons to do that, to spend the money? That may be one of the key ones, which might be a reason to have a watch. That's cool. Do you know, Huey, is that going to be on existing watches, or is that going to be on a new watch they're coming out?
No,
You know?
that's going to be on existing.
Oh, really? Cool. All right.
I want to get one comment that's out there just to go ahead and answer it. Kathleen asked, the Getty Images has a big logo on all their photos. How does AI erase the logo? Well, they don't. They probably have a paid account or get the use of a paid account. So they're using the ones that don't have the logos on them.
How to use Chat GPT for movie and TV show? That's a good idea. Did you put this one up? How to use Chat for movie and TV? Yeah. So can you ask it and say, send me what are the funny movies? Will it go and look at them?
Apparently that's what the article is saying, that you can check to see what's new and so on. So we'll have to see how that all works. But that's what the article's about.
Oh, that's cool.
Question here is, since it's only working through 2021,
right?
Is it going to give you anything new?
Yeah,
that's the problem. Bob, I don't know if you're going to talk about this. Was an article that came out. Chat GPT opens new opportunities for cyber criminals. 5 ways for organizations to get ready. You're probably going to comment on that on your Monday.
I have already commented on this some time ago, because Chat GPT isn't only used for the guys who want a quick way to do things. It's also used by the cyber criminals.
Right.
And for kids who want to do their essays,
right.
For school.
Stuff. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
This is as we speak, the big Huey, I don't know if they're playing this up a lot in Florida right now, but the big Florida RV show is on. The big international RV show is on in Florida. I'm not sure what city it's in, but it's big. It's one of the biggest in the world. And Thor Industries announced partnership with SpaceX to integrate Starlink into Airstream, Jayco, and other RVs. So they're all going to be integrated in. And Thor is, I don't know if they're the largest, but they're certainly maybe second, or maybe they're the largest RV manufacturer in the world of RVs, right? And they're going to be integrating SpaceX into all their models. I think that's pretty cool, eh?
Yep, absolutely.
Now this is interesting. Bob, did you see this one? Bitwarden acquires passwordless development to help companies authenticate users without passwords. I thought Bitwarden's really moving along here. I think we're going to talk about this maybe in February when we do our show. As a LastPass alternative, Bitwarden seems to be really coming along. What did you see this article?
Well, Bitwarden's not the only one going with passwordless sign-in projects. This is something that all of them are working on.
Okay. All right. Well, that'd be nice because I hate passwords.
Yeah, well, it's not like it'll automatically log you into things, because if that were the case, then anybody could use that technology.
Right.
So there are still some steps you'll have to go through.
Right. So here's an interesting one. Want a job? You'll have to convince our AI bot first. So if you want a job,
Mhm.
so maybe you can do your resume on Chat GPT. You'll send it off to the company, and their bot's going to look at your chat. No one's ever going to meet you, right? That's sort of cool. Oh, this was now I put this on not because of the article. This is how to connect a MetaQuest virtual reality headset with a hand PC, wireless and hand wired. And that's a question I often get. I put that on our Facebook page because I want it as a reference that I can find it again if I need it. And just to let people know that you can, on the search on the Facebook page, you can search these articles on our site. So if you want to come back and look at them, it's easy to search them. We've put them on here for you, and we publish daily. So there's lots of articles on here. So if you want to look at something and come back to it, it's very easy to do.
I did see an article this past week, and I don't know whether I captured it. I'll have to check to see if I put it in my Evernote. But the first of the AR Quest, you have one, Ron, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the earlier versions, and apparently they're not going to work properly anymore. The early ones, you have to get one of the latest versions. So that one that you haven't used much probably is not going to work or work well.
Oh, rats. Now this is the as you know, Pixel is bringing out a foldable phone, and this is an article that says Google Pixel folds in hand on videos, puts Z Fold to shame. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, that's interesting they say that, but just to let people know that when we talk about foldable phones, the foldable is where it folds in half and like a clamshell, like you'll see here, it's going to fold in half left to right, and it's going to close. But the flip ones are where they flip from the bottom up, and that's so we have foldables and flips, right? And
Mhm.
Bill, you don't have a flip, do you? No, you don't have a flip. So we have foldables and we have flips, and Ray has a flip phone. He really likes it. I think it's pretty cool. But we're going to see an awful lot of that now with Samsung and now Google coming out, and all of them are going to be doing these. You guys, any comments and anything? Are you guys interested in this? Do you think it might be worthwhile or what?
I think it's you're going to see more and more of it, and it's definitely going to be a coming thing where you can carry around a large screen, but it's folded in half.
Mm-hmm. Sort of interesting.
Waiting for the laptops to come out with this technology. So
Yeah.
now I can get a 17-inch laptop that's actually 34 inches.
There you go. Now, the other thing is Google TV Chromecast feature you aren't using, but you should. Now, I want to tell you, Michael Daniels, I watched his show yesterday, and he had an expert on Google TV talking, and I'd forgot, but we all have Google TV on our smartphones. If you've got an Android phone, you've got Google TV on there, and it's pre-installed. It's all there. If you haven't, you can download it, and you can and bingo, off you go. You can just watch it. So I think I'm going to do a little video about this for one of our Monday shows, but it's there. You can watch Google TV right on your Android device. So you may want to have a look at that now. If you're there, just pull your phone out and see if you can find it. I think
One of the
that's
things. One of the things.
Right, Ron?
What's that?
Not for free.
Well, it depends on
Google-
what you're watching. It depends on what you're watching. It's Google TV is like an aggregate for a lot of different services, right? So it depends on what you're watching. For example, if you had Prime and you had Netflix, instead of having to go to both apps when you're on your phone, if you had Google TV, you could watch either one through Google TV. So I thought that's just interesting.
That's a neat. Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
to
neat
go
trick
along
to
with
use.
that, one of the things that they talked about yesterday was the Google TV, and you use the Google device to connect with your TV. Uh, and, and Roku and Fire TV you can't get the Google TV app, but there is one similar to it. It's called Likewise. If you go to likewise.com, LIKEWISE.com, there is an app that I have on my Fire TV. It doesn't work on I can't get it on my Roku TV, but it's got it's an aggregate as well, and you can click on what show you want, and it'll take you to the right service.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that well, we'll have to talk more about that.
Yeah, we're getting some feedback from something.
I think it's Bob here. I'll just mute Bob for a second. Okay. Now this is interesting. Again, this comes back to what we're talking about. Is why is Gen Z ditching smartphones for flip phones? Like flip phones are becoming really popular, and so I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on this. But I think there's certainly we're going to see a lot more of that. I think I'm not sure if Bob, we talked about this earlier. Logitech announces $70 webcams. These are brand new ones coming out with USB-C and built-in shutters. So if you are thinking about this is a new product that is just coming out, and they will be. Logitech makes very good cameras. Of course, their most famous one is probably the Logitech C920.
Oh, goody! We can get another camera now.
That's what I'm just thinking. You another camera.
I've got two sitting up there. I got two sitting up there right now, and then my the one that goes in the center cam, and that I stopped using because when I do presentations and I got words on there, sometimes I can't read some of the words.
There you go. Huey, do we have any comments we should deal with? We're probably.
Let's see where we left off.
Vale says Apple Watch has Ring View available. Oh, okay. That's cool. So you can see your passkeys will be the new passwords for sites. Passkeys will be the new passwords. Yeah. Yep. JJ says flip and fold are more for the younger generation that spend their life on these things. This article I'm showing you here. YouTube gets a redesign offering a more streamlined user experience. Do any of you guys, Bill? Do you use YouTube TV? I
do, but I don't have that interface yet.
Yeah, I do.
Do you? What do you think, Huey?
I like it a lot better, and I couldn't understand because I just went back to YouTube TV after about 6 or 8 months of using DirecTV streaming, and I said, this looks different, but I really like it, and it's I'm really happy with, and that's one of the reasons I went back to YouTube TV is I like the interface better than the DirecTV stream. And something else I learned, go ahead.
I was just saying, I really like YouTube TV.
Yeah,
everybody does.
Yeah. But I think it was either last week or it was Monday. We happened to be talking about Dish. No, it was DirecTV. Direct satellite Dish has lost a 40 some odd % of their viewers. And I'm looking at, thinking about Dish as the other satellite dish company. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't hear much about them and what they're doing. So I wonder what's happening with them. And then I read a couple articles in the last couple of days. I didn't realize that Sling TV, one of the big streaming services, is owned by Dish. And so is Boost Mobile is a Dish company. And so they're into the streaming and the online stuff. So if the satellite dish of Dish goes away, they still have the latest in the technology.
Google is reportedly working on. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I had Sling TV for a while before I switched to YouTube TV.
Yeah, I did for a while too. Yeah, it's actually one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Google is reporting working on a location tracker like Apple's AirTags. Well, I was just going to say, is this you're traveling on air now with all these lost bags and cancellations and all the disasters that are happening. You certainly want to have some AirTags in your luggage, to find out where it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, that'll be interesting to see what they come out with. Now, have you guys been? Of course, we're into new phones, new year, new phones. So of course, that the S23, the new Samsung Ultra 23, will be released shortly, and they're going to have a 200 megapixel photo on that camera. So now we get into who has the best camera game again. So whether it's the S23, the Pixel, so we'll see if Chris Gould's going to get the S23 and compare it to Jim's Pixel 7. We'll see what's going to happen with that. But
well,
anyway,
with a 12 megapixel picture is a large file. A 200 megapixel picture is going to be a huge file. And you're going to have to reduce it to do much with it anyway. So
it'll be interesting.
Yep.
You have to remember too that some of us don't have good internet access, especially when we're in the middle of the ocean. And the bigger you make the picture, the longer it takes to get it up there, so you can share it with other people. 200 megapixels, no thanks.
So the price of the S23 will start at around $999, just at $1,000 for the 8 gigabyte RAM and the 256 gigabyte storage. So the article goes in and talks about the pricing. So anyway, interesting, because this will be a big topic. Like there'll be lists coming out, I think, in another month. There'll be a lot of information coming out about this.
And the Galaxy V22 has 3 models. The lower end, and then you've got a mid-range one, and then you've got the Ultra. And so if they're starting at $999, that means the Ultra is going to be $1,500.
Exactly.
And how long does a phone last? Every year there's a new one, but you might get a couple of years out of it before it's time to really change. So that's so let's say 2 years, $1,500. That's $750 a year just for the phone.
Bob, we were talking about this earlier. You have some opinions on this article?
Amazon discontinues. Yes. And I will have part of this discussion on Monday. I am very, very disappointed in Amazon because they're not allowing us to decide who we want those donations to go to. They will now decide who they want to support with our patronization of Amazon. My answer is simple. Goodbye, Amazon Prime. And if enough people feel the same way, I guarantee you Amazon will go back to supporting actual charities, not their causes.
To use this, you used smile.amazon.com, and then
correct.
And then you had set up what charity you want, and they would give a small donation based on how much you spent. And I've been using it for a 501c3. And I know several others in our audience do the same thing.
Yes, that's a sad.
It doesn't amount to a whole lot of money to lesser known charities, but the well-known charities, you're talking about lots of money coming to them through this, because that's the charity we chose. And now Amazon's deciding, no, I don't like those charities. I have my own favorites, and we're just going to tell you, you can't contribute to anything except what we would like you to use. That's just not my cup of tea.
Well, guys, it's an hour's gone by. Do you know we only have 1 minute left? Huey, do we have any comments that we need to deal with before we sign off?
Just one last comment.
Mike Unger, any opinion on Tesla lowering? Oh, yeah. Tesla dropped their prices. I was talking to one of my neighbors who has a Tesla here just 2 doors down from me. And she said the Tesla group. There's a big group in our area that have Tesla cars, and she said they were really ticked because they dropped about 15 grand. You know, they just cut them right off, and then so the prices dropped really, really significantly. I don't know what you get the Model 3 for now. It must be around 40,000 or 35,000 US. It's pretty cheap. So yeah, it's interesting. But I'll
And
have
also, there was also an article about the fact that their waiting list now has dropped down as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's in the, we didn't get to the article, but I think there's an article here that we put up. The waiting list now is you can pretty much get anyone, you know, if you just go and get it and bring it home. It's pretty cool. Well, I'm going to have some, but I'm going to go and see my friend who has this new Mitsubishi. Just got it. It's a plug-in hybrid. I'll maybe take some pictures for Monday's show, and we'll have we'll have a look at that. And I'm sure Mike will be interested as well. And it's brand new. It's a 2023 brand new Mitsubishi. So it'll be interesting to have a look at it. All right, listen.
Is yours a plug-in hybrid?
I haven't got mine yet. I ordered a RAV4, and it's not a plug-in. I actually ordered two cars. I ordered the RAV4 hybrid, gas hybrid, because hopefully I'm going to get it in a couple of months, because the plug-in hybrid, there's a 3-year waiting list to get. So I've ordered the plug-in as well. So hopefully when it comes, you know, I'll just swap the leases and so on and so forth. So, but we'll see. I don't know. You know, I mean, with the cars now becoming, you know, they're catching up now and the waiting list going down, I may even look at another option. I'm really interested in this Mitsubishi. Maybe I'll get that instead of the RAV4. I haven't, you know, there's nothing sealed in deal until the deal's done, right? So that's right. So we'll see.
We can talk for hours and hours, but our hour is up.
Yeah, that's right, Huey. That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we got to go. Hey, listen, everyone. Thanks for coming and thanks for listening to us talk for an hour. We'll see everybody on Monday for our show. Bill, of course, will be doing part 3 of his home automation and aging and care. And so thanks. And so we'll see everybody on Monday. Or if you can't make it on Monday, we'll be here at the same time, same place next week.
I got to open my new gadget that just came in the mail.
Oh, great. Good. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.